So we're trying out a new revolving camera, and I'm not sure how it's going to work out. We tried it yesterday, and it was a disaster, I must say, with the microphone of the camera. You could hear the little spinning thing. It sounded like gears rubbing or tires squeaking on the floor sort of deal. Really weird because you can't hear the camera, but with the phone in there, totally could hear it. Sounded horrible. But I thought I would share a story with you as we work on this. So the story is about letting things go. And it's really important to let things go. And at the end of the day, both my wife and I are perfectionists. And a little bit on, let's say, the controlling side of things. We rarely do, but it's good when we can establish who's kind of the chief on the job, because usually we're fighting with our own ideas. But worse than that, because we're perfectionists, then if we upset the other one, it really bothers both of us, and then we continue to beat ourselves up. And it happens quite often in the horsemanship as well, because you're dealing with another living, breathing, thinking animal who has decisions, makes decisions of his own. Oftentimes, they're not always in line with what we had planned, much like life. And that is why horses reflect lifemanship, and the lessons we learn, the lessons I learned, were so huge on this. And I wish I had Ray back every day. I'm glad we still get to sponsor Buck. He'll be back in March. He's cut back on his clinics, but this story is about Ray. And I learned so much from Ray. I was so grateful to have Buck, but he helped break down things that Ray was trying to talk about, because he had to work hard on them. And the harder you work on things, the better you are to describe it. So I've had people come to my clinics, and they've been to lots of his clinics, and they say, man, I got more out of your clinic. But the big thing is, you went to his clinics. So as much as maybe I was able to help them, he was my mentor. So I'm able to break some things maybe that he tried to get down, because it was hard for me, harder than most. So I've had to work hard at it. And that obligation of hard work from him, from Buck and Ray both, really led into the success and that hard work in investing and marriage and horses in life. It's similar. But this lesson is one that I wanted to share while we're working on the camera. Ray was talking, and there was a horse that this fella had been bucked off of several times through the day. And while he got bucked off, he move just a little bit, see if we can get rid of some of the glare. I got there kind of late to the clinic. And when I counted, he had gotten bucked off of 12 times. Now, he had been bucked off a few times before I got there. But a lot of times I didn't have a lot of money to ride in the clinics. And again, that's one of the reasons we do these videos, so that I can help you. Those people that can't get, that the parents can't get them to a clinic. Maybe it's too many states away. To give you a referral if you guys are interested in people like-minded, because to me, Buck students are the best out there. There's a lot of teachers that work for him now. Not a lot, but more than, when I worked for him, there was a couple before me. But now there's been quite a few more. I've known Buck for over 35 years. Kind of grew up with him. My dad says a lot of ways he was a better father than my father. My father was pretty harsh. Um, so being able to give that back to you and help you guys out with some of the things, I'm happy to refer some people privately, but if you let me know on the comments below, I would be happy to help you. But this horse, after it bucked him off, I couldn't afford to ride in the clinic, so hello, camera over here. Thank you. Still working out the bugs. Um, they asked me if I would ride it because he was spent, which, yeah, I couldn't have lasted 12 times. Maybe 3, and I'd probably been like done. I don't know. Never been bucked off that many times. But I have been done before, 3 before. Just depends, I guess, on how you land and how hard. But I got to work in the horse, and the groundwork that Buck teaches me really helps the horse. Now, this horse in particular had kind of a problem from the trot to the lope. He would get tight somewhere in the trot, but trot to the lope is where he just couldn't handle it. And for students, if you had time, life isn't a 4-day clinic. It's much longer. And now if I had to go back, I'd have taken longer to do that, but I was grateful that Ray helped me through it. And the foundation that I put in, I don't like to do a lot of groundwork, but that real suppleness for the hind and front quarters and that front quarters reaching back is so important. I see a lot of people bring the front, but the front's kind of leaping forward. Well, they can sweep forward, but that's the same move a bucking horse does out of a buck and shoot, so they can gain power. And I really want that horse to draw back through there. So I got that good, and I know that really helped. That was, to me, 90% of the battle is getting him over that, and good about waving some things around him, all the things that we're doing on this channel. And I got on the horse and I rode, and it was just perfect because I was just 1 second ahead of what Ray does. A lot of times you see something as a teacher, and by the time you can't feel it. So by the time it gets out of your mouth, it's late. That's kind of the problem. But at least you felt it. Well, I was just 1 step ahead of Ray most of the day. And I don't know why it wants to keep coming back there. Maybe the wind from the air conditioner, but we'll come over here. Being that step ahead, the horse never bucked with me. And we loped him a few times in the round pin, and Ray said, okay, open up the round pin. And it was a big arena. I don't know, it was maybe like 200 by 400 or so. And there we go. That big arena, the horse started to trot and get close to the lope. And one thing with me is it's hard to ride a bucking horse when it gets fast. My brain kind of sometimes becomes a pinball machine because I just assume they not buck. But I got tight, the horse got tight, I got tighter, the horse got tighter, and it was just like a powder keg. And Ray hollered out, "You're still in a round pin." And just him being there, I guess, and his voice helped me relax. I relaxed, the horse relaxed, I relaxed a little more, the horse relaxed, and we started to lope. And came across the middle, he said, okay, change directions. And I changed directions, and it was the first time that I had ever done a flying lead change without a bunch of preparation. I mean, this is my first ride on the horse. And I realized how much, sometimes overtraining I did, how difficult I made the flying changes, but also when we went to lunch, I always kind of go over a ride and, okay, how could I do them better? And I'm at a clinic to learn. And I was asking Ray, well, now when the horse did this, should I have maybe done this? And should I have taken a little longer there? And what do you do at this point? And Ray said, when you've had as good a ride as you can have on a horse, leave it alone. Well, I couldn't do that. I had to be like, well, Ray thinks that's as good a ride as I could have. I can do better. I know I can do better. I'm sure I can do better, and I'm going to make a plan. And I started beating it up and making this plan and that plan. And well, kind of the story of this channel, I wasn't enjoying the journey at that moment. But at the end of the day, I've realized through that story that every ride I do, every clinic I have, I did my best. As this song goes, not always is my best good enough, so I guess I did my best, but my best wasn't good enough. But I did my best. And through friends, yeah, I'm human. I make mistakes. It takes time. It's not a 3-day clinic in life. I have to see some things with the horses, adjust. We have to do things. And the more pieces of the puzzle you get, the more you're able to expand on that. And sometimes you have to go a little ways down the road. Now, I have great principles and foundation, so I can work at that. But for one horse or one person, there's multiple tools. So we have to play around with some of that. And sometimes you even have to teach some stuff that's not the best to kind of get you in that direction with horses and people and in life. And as Ray would say, sometimes first you have to go with the horse so the horse can go with you so you can both go together. Well, it's the same thing with people. And through that, I realized I just been beating myself up over that ride. And it was a great ride. And I didn't enjoy that. So at the end of the day, now I try to enjoy every ride. There's a saying I used to hear a lot. I don't think I ever heard them together. I'm sure I didn't. Sometimes you have to quit riding and start thinking. But I also heard sometimes you have to quit thinking and start riding. Sometimes we overthink things. The part I missed for years was sometimes you have to stop riding. Don't do it in the middle of a ride. Don't do it while you're on your horse. Yes, maybe some things happened and you can make a plan for the next time somewhere else. But for that day, realize that you've done your best. Make the plan the next day and enjoy the day and enjoy the journey for what it is today. Don't be tearing it up. Make a plan down the road and we adjust as the rides go on. But remember, today you did the best and your horse is always trying as hard as he can. That's the greatest thing about a horse to me. I've seen horses just come in for training and they were beat to within an inch of their life. And I guess that heartbreaking thing, that drive for me to get with that horse and show that horse that the human's really better than what he is, to give that horse a chance and go slow, means the world to me. Because I guess at the end of the day, that was the chance that I had always hoped my dad, when he was tearing me down, would give me. And he got better at the end, but he didn't know how to approach it because he had failed. And to remember both with horses, with people, that it's just important to apologize, maybe not verbally, but start again and do better. Even if you haven't done right, try to do the best you can. Make sure you do the best you can and enjoy that journey. Anyways, happy trails. Hope you enjoyed the story. We'll see what it sounds like on the video. Catch you later. Happy trails.